there was a good team, a really good team. I think they're a really good team that did everything that they normally do and also played well. They shot the ball well. They hit a lot of turnaround jumpers and shots that don't typically always go in. So it was a combination of a lot of different things. You have another team that's still trying to figure out who they are, how it works at this level, what my role is in games where we're playing a top team, a team with a little number next to it, and a lot of circumstances surrounding it. And so when that collided today, it wasn't good from the start for us. But then how we responded to what was happening ended up the reason why the score ended up what it was.
Lamont, what is the approach going forward? Do you just burn this tape and not look at it? I mean, are there things to take from this? What do you stress to the team?
I mean, maybe early there are a couple of things that I'll have the audacity to go back in and use as teaching points from a basketball standpoint. I don't think they out-basketballed us to the tune of 40 points. I just don't think that that's what it was. So there'll be a couple things early that I'll be able to show when we still had life, so to speak, and so maybe I'll do that. But at the end of the day, once it got down to where it was, we were not made out of the things to make any sort of real fight or comeback, or you guys wanted the clock to tick as fast as humanly possible.
Lamont, you kind of mentioned that guys wanting the game to just almost be over. Where's this team in the process of learning how to compete at this level and learning how to win at an SEC level right now?
Well, that's a good question because we did compete in a way to win at Vandy, right? And, honestly, we get a last-second three that we miss, get back, and we end up with a layup to go into overtime. If it goes in, we win, right? And then that's probably not the question is learning how to win at this level. But we did compete. We did compete in that game. I think it came down to discipline and some things defensively, especially, and some talent. We had the ball around the basket and just didn't produce on things that are pretty producible, I think. But in the face of what was there today, that was a new one for everyone out there. That was a new one. Okay. It's a team, again, that's got a little number next to them, which means everybody in the media thinks they're really good. They are good. It doesn't take a number to tell you that, but they are really good. But they know that. Their families know that. Their friends know that. The Twitter world knows that. Everyone knows that. So you got all that going on. You got, the Gigi Julian matchup. Someone's salivating over that. You got a lot of things that are going on in this game, and then boom, it's on you. And next thing you know, Mike Tyson came out and hit you in the liver, and you're gasping for air. And then how do you respond to that? And we did not respond well to that at all.
Yeah, Coach, early on your message a few times to Michi seemed to be you wanted him to drive a bit more inside. How did you like maybe how he took that advice and came out with 19?
Yeah, he finally started doing that. I've been wanting him to do that for a long time, but when you play a team, they're aggressive defensively on the ball. They're never going to let you just be comfortable. Well, here's what's hard to do is pressure the ball effectively and then stay in front of the ball without fouling. That's a very difficult thing to do, as those are facts. Those are very difficult to do. So a guy that's got his burst should attack. He should attack. He should default to attack. And then once they soften up, then you look to shoot from the perimeter. He was defaulting to shooting. That's what guys like to do. It's more comfortable, even if I have to go 10 feet out further to get that comfort zone. I wanted him to attack, get down the rim, even though he went a couple times and didn't get anything down there. But just even ripping and attacking, it drew a foul, a non-shooting foul one time. He got to the rim and finished another time. It's who he needs to grow into as a player. Honestly, for us, is to continually put pressure on defense. Honestly, you look at a guy like Steph Curry. He's made his career as a shooter, but because he shoots so well now, he can attack. He can attack and get in the paint and get to the rim, and he's really good at that kind of stuff. So Michi needs to – that's the next level of his development, is to be able to attack and put pressure on the rim and finish or find other people.
Yeah.
You took Gigi out early for a few minutes, and then I don't think he started the second half either. You got him in after a few minutes. What did you see going on with him? Why was he having so much trouble kind of just getting into the flow of the ball game?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of it I think had to do less with to me. I'm on the sideline, so I'm not him, but it was a physical game, right? For young guys in general, that can be difficult. For him particularly, that's how guys are going to try to guard him and make life miserable. I think oftentimes he defaults to the jump shot, like a lot of guys do. Again, this is a game where you probably sometimes have to put your head down and tell someone where you're going and not ask permission, but just tell them where you're going. And he wasn't doing that, and then he just didn't respond well. He didn't respond well. I think his body language was not good. And so I'm going to play the guys that are acting like they want to play really hard and play for you and try to win. And so that's what it was. I mean, he didn't respond well to it, and so I went with Zach to open up the half, just because that's what it was.
And, Coach, sticking with the theme of Gigi, I saw you doing a lot of coaching on the sideline, pulling him in and out. What was your message after the game and during the game about how he can move forward from this performance?
Yeah. Constantly you have to, particularly when you're a guy like him. Okay, I keep saying this. I said this before. He's handled all this stuff so well so far, right? But today he did not. Today he didn't handle it well, whether he's put too much pressure on himself today specifically because of a matchup with an in-state guy that's also a high-level recruit and it's a top 10 team. Whatever those circumstances are, it's just you got to constantly tell him. I told him at one point, I said, hey, here's what's happening, okay? Sometimes you just need someone to tell you the truth right to your face. And I told him, here's where you are. Your body language is not good. It's not good body language. You have to inspire your teammates, man. You got to respond to stuff. Let's go. You'll get another opportunity. Have a seat right now, and when you come back out here, let's play with some fire. Some juice, actually, is what I call it, right? And so I didn't see juice. I just still didn't see juice. And then, and then it's just funny the way it works out. When you're not good to the game, I honestly believe part of the reason why I'm here is I've loved basketball and I've been good to basketball. Basketball now has been good to me as well, okay? So I owe it a lot still. And I don't know if I'll ever pay it all the way back, but I'll continue to try. And so, but I do believe is if you don't handle that the right way, basketball will rear its ugly head on you. And coincidentally, it's the first game he goes 0 for and doesn't score anything. And you have to treat it the right way. You have to treat it's a special thing we got here. To me, it's the best game ever, and I've played them all. Football might be the most fun on game day. I honestly do believe that, just because it's in the face of such miserable practice. But I hope nobody gets offended by that. But I played football, and I couldn't stand the practice, but the game Friday Night Lights was unbelievable. It was a fun day. But it's the best sport. It's the best sport. I'm telling you. People see your face. You're right there in the mix of it. You get to play both sides of the ball. You do everything. It's an incredible sport. And how blessed are these guys that they get to do it every day. I'd trade places with them in a heartbeat. Hopefully you can tell that. I'd trade places with the guy that never gets in the game in a heartbeat. And these guys got to start to act like that. They got to understand that this is a privilege that they have, and they got to continue to go out there and earn it every day.
Defensively, it seemed like you guys had some stretches where you were able to force some turnovers, 10 steals today as a team, but it seems like there have been some issues turning those turnovers into points and scoring on the other end. I guess, what do you make of that with this team, scoring on the fast break, scoring in transition, and taking advantage of those turnovers?
I think in general, I'll probably take this game out. I agree with that statement. I'll probably take this game out because there were so many other things that were going on that were affecting things. But some of those are just decision making while we're in there. Challenging an athlete at the rim. Going to something that's outside of your normal comfort zone. Chico had a pull-up jumper in transition. It's not his deal. You probably have hardly ever seen him do that right off the dribble, right? You are who you are, and I love the kid for who he is, right? You got to stay in your lane and do what you do well. And so I think sometimes we've gotten outside of that, but that's a part of it. But again, today, I'd have a hard time judging it on today's just because with the guy, there were so many other things going on. It's really hard to evaluate what guys were doing.
We'll go Alan and then Adrian and wrap it up.
Hayden said a second ago he doesn't think your offense is adaptable enough. You saw a different defense today than you did Tuesday and that you just didn't handle that well. What's your kind of take on that, and what does an adaptable offense look like to you?
Well, to me, I don't know. I think our offense is pretty adaptable. I mean, it's here's the deal. At the end of the day, if there was a play, I know you'd like to think it wasn't this, but if there was a specific play that was the greatest play, a specific set offense that was the greatest, everyone would run that offense, wouldn't they? Some people do blocker mover. Tony Bennett won a national championship with that. Some people run straight motion. Some people run the flex, right? Providence last year won the Big East and was National Coach of the Year running the flex, for crying out loud. So I just don't, I'm not a believer in it is what you do what you're comfortable with. You do what your personnel says we can do these things based on my personnel, right? We are skilled enough to do this. Matt Painter's he's had a big guy every year for the last how many ever years, and they do stuff that throws the ball inside, right? Other guys don't ever throw the ball inside because they're not built that way. They don't want to play that way. They don't like to play that way. So I think it's less of that. Right? If you can't get a catch on the wing because the guy's gonna, I don't know, can I use this word, bullying? I call it bullying. I hate to not be sensitive to that, but a guy's bullying you on the wing and he won't let you catch. Well, then what offense do you have that will be effective at that point if I can't get a catch on the wing? And most of them do. It's a spread, high ball screen offense at that point, which we did go to at times because they were being very physical with us on the wing. So I think there's a lot of different things in the offense, and so adaptability really comes down to players and decisions and reading what the defense is going to give you.
Coach, it didn't appear that Gigi Jackson was out there from the alma mater after the game was over. Do you have any comment on that?
I don't. I wasn't aware of that. I don't, we just lost and played terrible, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say to the team. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. That's news to me. But, yeah, I don't have a comment on that. Appreciate it. Okay, thanks, guys.